Nairobi Expressway, now in use. The expressway is a game changer that is part of the government's broader efforts to decongest the Nairobi metropolitan area. It is an iconic infrastructural development that has changed the face of Nairobi. The 27-kilometer expressway starts at Mlolongo, traverses Uhuru Highway, and ends at the junction with James Gishuru Road. There are 11 toll stations, 15 entrances, and 14 exits. And this is what a motorist who would be using the expressway needs to know. There are 3 modes of payment. You can use a manual toll collection card, also known as the MTC card. In this method, there is a card that is loaded with toll points that are used to pay toll fees at the toll stations. The second method is known as electronic toll collection or ETC service. The service allows toll points to be electronically deducted through a pre-installed onboard unit device or OBU, offering a non-stop road service.
ETC, there is no wasting time on the road. You don't need to make a queue, you don't need to stop or wait. No stopping, no waiting. Once the scanners on the road scan your gadget, the barriers automatically open themselves and you're free to go. The charging is upon exit.
The third method is cash. Now, cash users are not obliged to register prior to their trip on the Nairobi Expressway. Great. Allow me now to share my experience on the Nairobi Expressway, and I began by registering for payment. I chose 2 methods: the manual toll collection card MTC and the electronic toll collection ETC. And as an individual subscriber, I provided a copy of my national identity card and a copy of the logbook in order to be registered. It means I can use either of the 2 methods. Currently, one can do the registration at the Nairobi Expressway Plaza that is situated along Mombasa Road opposite City Cabanas, Embakasi, or you can visit Lavington Center along Gitanga Road next to Maria Immaculate Hospital.
Mimi naitwa Joseph Kilonzi Mutia, ni mkaaji wa kwa Adriba. Natumianga hii Mombasa Road. Lakini in the morning inakuanga na jam kubwa sana. Even hata jioni. Na tutatizo naweza kuchukua 2 hours ama even more. Lakini sasa hii nimekatia hii expressway itakuwa rahisi.
I have now acquired the onboard unit device that will be installed in my car. Remember, this will enable me to drive through the expressway without stopping to make manual payment at the end of my journey, as the toll points will be electronically deducted. Fast forward, and on day 2, my crew and I are in Mlolongo driving to Nairobi. Let's get a feel of the expressway. The maximum speed limit on the expressway is 80 kilometers per hour. The expressway is fully fenced. Pedestrians, non-motorized vehicles, motorcycles, tricycles, tractors, and forklifts are not allowed on the expressway. Motorists are strictly prohibited from parking on the expressway. The rule is, do not stop or allow any person to get on or off from a vehicle on the expressway. On the left, there is an emergency lane. You are not allowed to occupy this lane except in the event of an emergency. And as I drive, you can see traffic on my left. So this expressway is expected to help decongest the city, help reduce that traffic. Yes, so we are in the CBD. This is about 15 minutes from Mlolongo. We started our journey at 5 minutes past 8. We are in the city of Nairobi, in the CBD. You can see the beautiful city. Ahead is the iconic building in Westlands known as GTC, Global Trade Center, right in front of us. So you would be seeing Nyayo House as you drive along the highway, and this has really been a smooth ride away from traffic on the normal Mombasa Uhuru Highway roads. This is exit 11. What a picturesque view of Westlands. And that's an indication you are now entering Westlands. Still maintaining a speed limit of 80 kilometers per hour. But here I see the speed limit has gone down to 40 kilometers per hour. So we'll proceed all the way to James Gishuru. The maximum toll one can pay on the expressway is 360 Kenya shillings, and this would be from end to end. For instance, from Nairobi East in Mlolongo to Nairobi West near James Gishuru Junction. If you enter the expressway at Nairobi East and exit at Capital Center, you will be charged 300 shillings.
For cash, the toll attendant will just announce the amount to you, and then you will pay just cash. Then in case of the MTC card, you'll produce the MTC card, and then the toll attendant will scan it. It will display the amount, and then the scanner will read the amount and deduct. And then the barrier opens. Yeah.
Interesting benefits about Nairobi Expressway. Nairobians probably need to recognize that the biggest culprit for the traffic jams that we have is actually Uhuru Highway. Yes. Yeah, because Uhuru Highway is actually a span. It's a spine of the city of Nairobi. So driving from the western part of Nairobi, Westlands and Hurlingham and the likes, whatever you do will be influenced by traffic ahead of you that is touching Uhuru Highway. Yeah. And as we come from the east, it's the same thing. From Westlands, it's the same highway, and Mombasa. So if we resolve the traffic congestion along Uhuru Highway, if we can guarantee that traffic in Uhuru Highway is moving rapidly, then you'll be surprised. Our own projections are showing that traffic will scale down, the congestion will scale down by as much as 30% immediately, 30%.
The Nairobi Expressway is the first public-private partnership PPP road project in Kenya, meaning it will not be financed through the exchequer, that is, neither debt nor government funds. The development cost of the Nairobi Expressway is $599 million US, or 63 billion Kenya shillings, to be fully borne by the concessionaire, that is Moraa Expressway Company Limited. The concessionaire is responsible for designing, financing and building the expressway and will maintain and operate it during the concession period. During this period, it will also collect toll charges from motorists who choose to use the elevated highway. The concessionaire will then transfer the road to the government at the end of the 30-year concession period. This financing structure has freed up funds that the government is using for other infrastructural initiatives. One of these is the upgrading of roads in informal settlements. The government, through the Kenya Urban Roads Authority, mapped out 408 kilometers of access roads and related infrastructure that required urgent improvements in 10 informal settlements and densely populated areas in and around Nairobi.
Now, even if you are doing a small business of selling, selling tomatoes or selling those other merchandise, the cost of even transporting that merchandise from now source, that is the wholesale market, up to the point where you are selling them, has gone down because of the road is now okay. The border services they have improved.
Barabara ilikuwa mbaya, haikuwa poa, kwa barabara mbaya zaidi. Hata ukipeleka mama mwenye anaenda kujifungua, anazalia kwa pikipiki bana.
Kitambo mimi Kangemi nimekaa miaka, barabara ilikuwa mbaya sana. Mizigo tulikuwa tunaachiwa kwa stage, hata ndutia siku kuwa unatumia mkokoteni.
Back to the Nairobi Expressway. It complements other recent road projects that link with the expressway to enhance connectivity within Nairobi. These include the new Red Hill link, which is a continuation of James Gishuru from Waiyaki to Red Hill in Gigiri, and the new link that begins from Langata through Kibra, Yaya Center, Kileleshwa, Riverside, Westlands, Parklands, and joins Limuru. There are also 4 bypasses that eliminate the need for transit traffic to move through Nairobi city center, therefore reducing congestion within the city.
In terms of transportation, you have to look at it like a master plan. If you do one subsector, like you do the highway and do nothing else, then that highway does not become of any use. What we've done is to make sure we look at the entire network of transport infrastructure, from the rail to aviation, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, and now to the road itself. So what it will mean is it will attract more investors into the city of Nairobi, who previously would not have wanted to come here because they've heard about the traffic jams. It will make Nairobi an attractive place for conference tourism, whereby people can fly into Nairobi for a conference. They take 15 minutes in the city. It becomes a lot more attractive.
It feels good to drive on the Nairobi Expressway, and indeed, it is comfortable and convenient. Many thanks for traveling with me.